Hi guys, it's Joanne here at Apple Tree Studio, and as you can see, we've been painting all things festive. There's a bit of a storm going on here in the UK, I don't know if you can hear it. My studio is rattling, so please excuse the noise. But yes, we've been painting Christmas gnomes and reindeers this month, and I'm absolutely thrilled with my Patreon channel, to be honest, because I've been running it for over a year now, and the response has been absolutely amazing. There are over 30 tutorials to choose from there already, and we also have a private Facebook group that you can join and get feedback and look for some step-by-step tutorials that I put on there as well. So there's a lot to choose from. I also produce single purchase tutorials as well, and you'll find all the information for the tutorials and my Patreon channel on my website, which is www.artbyboon.co.uk. So let's paint this super festive gnome, and if you want to loosen up your painting, this is ideal for you because no pencil drawing, we're going to go straight in with the brush, and honestly, it's so simple. When I show you how to do it, you'll just enjoy the process and create a beautiful festive gnome of your own. So let's grab our paints and let's get painting. As you can see, I've just finished filming our Christmas gnomes, and yes, my desk is a mess, there's paint everywhere, but do you know what, I thought I'd give you a little extra bonus because we've talked about the techniques that we've used when we've been painting these gnomes, you know, the softening off and the wet into wet and negative painting, but sometimes it's just nice just to be a little bit looser and freer, and I just thought, while my stuff's here now, let's just do a little wet into wet gnome without stopping, without waiting for things to dry, and let's just let watercolour do its magic. Let's see if we can do that, shall we? Okay, I've got a piece of Saunders Waterford here, and I'm going to wet the paper first. So what I'm doing here is I'm not putting any drawing down, and I want to imagine how that's going to look. Now, that's very hard, isn't it, when there's no drawing in front of you? How do you do that? There's no easy answer really, but I imagine where I want the shapes to be. So if, for instance, I want the hat to start here and come here, then okay, so I can wet this area now quite confidently because I know it's all going to fit onto my paper as well. I'll just wet that shape down so it becomes the hat. So I know that roughly that shape is nice and wet. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop a colour into that. So we're just going to use two colours as well. So I'm going to take the Cadmium Red, and I'm going to find that wet bit where I started, which is round about here. I'm going to bring that red down, all the way down. So it's kind of, there's the hat, the bottom of the hat. I can throw some more water onto that. I can soften those shapes away. I can just have a clean brush and just pull a bit of water out from this left-hand wash. And I'm thinking about light now as well. I'd like the light to come this way. So I'm going to keep this area nice and clean here. This I can go into a little bit darker. And we're not going to stop with this one, oh, not for too long anyway, but we need to put the nose in. So if I just draw a shape like that, I'll leave a little highlight here. I'll soften that away so it kind of blends in with the hat as well, doesn't it? Which is quite nice. And there's his nose. Should we give him a beard? This is still wet, by the way. Let's carry on. Let's take some ultramarine blue. Light's coming from this right hand section, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in some of that blue underneath there, look, and down. I'm going to clean my brush, and I'm going to just pull that paint out. Pull it out, let things happen. That red's going to blend into that, isn't it? So it's going to go a bit purple. Lots of water, remember. Pulling that down. some more blue. Again, I'll have the beard kind of coming around like that. So I kind of like the red running into that, so I'm going to put a bit in here as well, just to kind of give it some balance. It does look quite nice. A bit of splattering, that's always nice, isn't it? Now we are cooking on gas, aren't we? Okay, so there's his beard, and then we'll put him some trousers in there somewhere under that beard. You might find some red trousers and maybe a couple of shoes. Now, obviously there comes a time when you have to stop and let it dry out a little bit. But he's coming together, isn't he? I'm going to put some more water onto those legs. And I'm going to put a bit more splattering in there as well before I let it dry. And then we can come in and put some final darks into that. So while this is nice and dry now, that means we can just throw in a few well-chosen darks just to bring it to life. So no messing about with little areas, just really punching in some dark colour to exploit the lights, if you like. So if we keep the light running down this side here, then that's where I'm going to exploit that light by putting a dark next to it. Okay, let me show you what I mean. Okay, so, and we're only using two colours, so it doesn't matter which colour you use. You can use a red or a blue. I'm going to use a blue here. I'm going to just give that a bit of a curve shape to it. Oh, do I want any more up there? Maybe a smidge. I'm going to soften those marks away. I can, of course, tip my paper at an angle and just soften those marks away as well. So that's really helpful, that line, isn't it? Because that's now describing the shape and form of the hat without having to put too much detail in there. Let's come in. Let's choose a bit of red instead of the blue, and let's come in and describe the beard. So if I don't paint the beard and I just put some dark reds in there, I might put some blues in there as well, just to punch that along. Mixing the blue and the red together. It's a nice purple, really nice dark colour. And that line now is helping to describe the shape and form of that beard, isn't it? I'll pull that wash down a little bit. Oh, I might have a foot here, look. So I'll not paint that foot, I'll just bob a bit of colour underneath it. And if your lines are too harsh, then you can throw more water in that as well. You know, we are painting wet into wet, so we're exploiting that paint and taking risks, really. I know it's scary, but it's the best way to go. Just take a few risks. I'm going to come in now and put a shadow across the top underneath of his hat and his nose. So I'm going to take that red and a bit of that blue, make a darker purple colour. There we go. I'm going to wash this line across up into that nose area. Oh, and down again. Clean my brush. I'm just going to soften those marks down. So that really has helped to describe the shape and form of his hat as well, hasn't it? We could continue and put darks up this side, but we're keeping it nice and loose. So I'm going back in with that darker colour, and I'm just going to come in with a few little darks here, just underneath that beard shape. So we're picking up the shape of the whites, because I'm going to pull that down that hopefully then suggests these lighter parts. I use the heel of my brush an awful lot to brush paint around. Just a suggestion here, maybe a few little ones here. I could go on and on. I could. I'm going to put a bit more red into that nose. All the time I am taking risks because the paint is wet and that blue may well run into that red. And that's a risk I have to take. A bit more red into that foot as well. Do you know what? I think I'm going to leave him like that. It's a lovely way of painting a simple little subject, but practicing being brave and putting down washes into washes that are already wet. I mean, you're going to get accidents, but sometimes you get lovely, happy accidents as well. I think I might give my chap a quick spray and call him done. Okay, I hope that's been helpful. Also, what it tells you is that, you know, one simple tutorial can take you on a journey to produce other work and explore other avenues. So don't just watch a tutorial once and then paint it and then move on. Go back to them occasionally and think out of the box and think about other possibilities that you could explore. Thanks for watching. Bye.